what is up, guys, and welcome to another video. The Knicks drop a game 115 or 105 to 103, something like that. They drop a game like that. It came down to a bad referee call. We're gonna talk about that because you know what I wanted to. I want to talk about the game. That's why I had a lot of notes in the game, ton of notes. I was ready to just throw them at you, bang, bang, bang. But no, because refs need to make stupid calls at the end of games, I guess, to ruin a game. Um, my pregame note. I'm just gonna talk about my pregame notes. Not gonna do my postgame notes. Postgame notes can be just me yelling at the referees, ranting at them. So stay tuned, or not. I don't know. But if you want to stay tuned, you can stay tuned. But let me get to my pregame thoughts. Better home team and away team is the Houston Rockets. They win a lot of games at home. Their last 4-game losing streak was away. I'm speeding through this because I want to get to my rant. So the last 4 games was away, and they lost all of them. They lost to Indiana, to they just lost the game to the Hawks. I mean, of course, the last game they beat the Knicks, but they lost the game to the Hawks. Lost the game to Indiana. A lot of teams they lost 4 straight there, and it was all away. So don't let Jalen Green and Brooks get hot, which um we'll talk about Brooks a lot in this video, but grant to Brooks is that he got hot in the fourth, and it was something that the Knicks didn't need to happen. They couldn't have had that happen, but man, hey, whatever. He got hot. The Knicks still had a chance to win. Um, Sims starting, no more Taj. Taj played, looked awful, by the way. He looked awful. I love Taj Gibson. Do not take this for anything. I love Taj Gibson, but man, Jericho Sims made him look like I was watching Taj Gibson last game. Watching Jericho Sims was like watching Mitchell Robinson because of how bad Taj played at the center position last game. It was beautiful. Um, and also let me shout out the guy for just a great defensive game against Shengun. Precious, like a ton of rebounds. I don't even want to get. You know what? I'm gonna screw going through the pregame, post game notes. You know what? Precious you had a damn good game, and I'm not gonna let everything get swept in the rug like the call. No, he had a damn good basketball game. Like locked up Shengun, didn't lock him up, but he did pretty well in Shengun. He had a block at that controversial call, but we're not gonna talk about that because we're gonna talk about the play, but like the block on that before it got pounced at the Holiday, and then the rest is history. But the reason that got out to a half court heave was because of the pressure to a block, and it was great to see. Him just stand his ground defensively and got like a ton of offensive rebounds. He was dominant on the glass. Great to see because a lot of Raptors fans told me that this guy's not this, he's not that. No, Tom Thibodeau will make any center you give him that's decently good, and as an NBA quality center, he will make them good. And that's what Tom Thibodeau has learned to do is just make these centers just. It's so easy for them. Just get a rebound and let's go. It's so easy to play with a guy like Jalen Brunson, to play with a guy like Bojan Bogdanovic because they're just such good scorers. All you need to focus on is get a board. And let me also talk about the second game for Bojan Bogdanovic and a Knick uniform. Is great. It was great to watch. I mean, he was just his shots didn't fall. Once again, his shots will fall, and that's what I said in my pregame notes. The shots will fall. I am not worried about that. I'm kind of worried because, I want the shots to fall in that game. It was kind of worrisome. But he got to the basket when it mattered the most. He got to the basket. Knicks need some buckets to get back in the game. Of course, they need some buckets because they were down by a lot of points. They need some buckets to get back in the game. And Bogdanovich really did that because they had to sit Jalen Brunson because Dom Thibodeau was playing Jalen Brunson max. And also, before I get to my rant, Dante DiVincenzo a hamstring injury. He went out. So that's great. That's amazing. That's great to see, man. That's great to see. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get a Dante DiVincenzo update. If I can get one for you guys at 12:20 in the morning or in the afternoon. See if I can get a Dante DiVincenzo update. I think Dante DiVincenzo a higher ceiling than Trey Young. Okay, whoa. Let me get a. It'd be great if I could. Okay, Donnie Vincenzo. I'm searching him up on Twitter. See if I can get um Dante is dealing with a hamstring issue. That's all I know. That's all I know. That's all I know. Hamstring issue. I'm gonna read this article, but that's all I know is a hamstring issue. Um, let me make sure everything's okay. Damn, this is a ton of injuries. Oh my goodness. Um, okay, can we get to the okay? I'm gonna read this. Then the injuries is right. All we know is all right. Head coach Sam Thibodeau does not have an update on DiVincenzo. That's great, amazing, because of playing him only 2 minutes, like sitting him for only 2 minutes, really that helps, doesn't it? Yeah, Tom Thibodeau, that helps. That helps. That's very good, man. Very good way to run a team, especially if you just bring in reinforcements. Makes no sense to me, Tom Thibodeau. Makes zero sense to me. And you know what's going to lead me right to my rant on the refs? Look, we do not come to watch you play. I'm sorry, Jason Goebel, Eddie Malloy, please, we do not come to watch you play. No disrespect. We come to watch the players play and have you make the right calls. That was not the right call. You wanted to go home, which I respect. I want to go home sometimes when games get to at the end of the game. I want to go home too. But this you get paid. I can go home whenever I want to, but you get paid. You get paid to do you get paid to ref the game. I can go home whenever I want to. I could call the game and be like, I'm done. I don't want to play this game anymore. Or I can say I don't want to watch this game anymore. I can go turn the channel. You cannot, because you get paid to ref the game till the end. I don't care what you want to do after the game. I don't care about that at all. You got to ref that game because you get paid to ref the game. So I'm gonna nail that out of the way, saying that he just wanted to go home early. No, that's not what happened. Let me get to the other thing about just a stupid call at the end, and also, um, they said on the official report that it was wrong. So Eddie Malloy, I think somebody went to. I think he's a pool reporter who I just learned about it. A pool reporter can go to every referee, and give him one question, be like, "What did you think about that last call?" And then bang bang question. But he said, "I wouldn't have called that again." Summarizing it, he didn't just say that. He didn't go up and say, "I wouldn't have called that again." But no, I summarizing it like, "Yo, so my question is why call in the first place? Why? Why?" And I want consistency as well because we talk about consistency and Don DiVincenzo, I don't even know if it was end of the second quarter and the third quarter, kicked his leg out, which he obviously did. I'm not complaining. He got an offensive foul, which he should. Honestly, he should. He was just trying to get a shot up. But when Aaron Holiday does the same exact thing, he doesn't get called for a foul. He doesn't get called for anything. If anything, he gets called for defense. Jalen Brunson, the guy who contests him, gets called for a defensive foul. Makes no sense. Makes zero sense to me. This is why we want consistency. That's why Tom Thibodeau said, "I don't care. You want to call it tight. You want to call it. You want to call it loose. I want consistency. I want consistency. That's that's all we were asking for. That's all anybody watching the game, anybody coaching wants is consistency. That's it. And this is not this is a repeated offense. This happened not the exact same play. You can't make the exact same play a few times, but like as Andy Edwards says, cheating, butt refs or whatever you want to fill in the blanks. I'm not gonna curse in here, but cheating blank refs. Like when SGA gets more foul calls than him, and on that play, I didn't really go in depth in that. And also, Darko Rajakovic going off on the refs. Taylor Jenkins way early in the season, you probably forgot about it, going off on the refs because Jaren Jackson went up for a layup. He definitely got fouled. He was getting fouled the whole entire game. He didn't want to foul. He didn't. The refs didn't call him a foul. So all Taylor Jenkins did was curse at the refs in the post game. Now, instead of giving these guys and Mike Brown, on the computer doing a whole film study on the freaking fouls. So, can we think about doing a thing? Can we think about thinking out of the box and not just trying to find these coaches? Maybe like, okay, Adam Silver, I'm Adam Silver. You know what? maybe they have a little legitimate gripe. Maybe they do. Instead of just fine them, which you can't curse at the refs, of course, you can't curse in the post game presser. Fine them, but let me actually think about that one though. Are they actually like? Do they have a legitimate gripe? We should look at that, and we should honestly make these. We should honestly there should be uh precautions on those refs or whatever it's called. There should be consequences on refs that make bad calls. It's got to be Adam Silver's job or somebody else's to make those things. And even though yes, you don't want coaches to curse in the press conference, and yes, if you want to fine them, you can fine them, but you're just throwing out fines. What about we look at the pattern of what of all the coaches going on from the refs? What if we look at the pattern instead of throwing out fines and not doing anything about it? Look at the patterns of how many coaches are cursing out the refs this season than a few seasons before. It's pathetic. Watching these refs ruin games for these players who are playing hard for 48 minutes. You don't understand how hard these players play. I don't understand either. So I don't really know why I said I don't. You guys don't understand because I don't understand either. These players play hard for a lot of minutes straight, and they put their heart and soul in this game. And to come down to one stupid call that is not even the right call is awful. And Grant, when Thibodeau 0.3 seconds on the clock is drawn at play, they say the game's over. I don't care. Yo, what are you gonna draw up there? Thibodeau, explain to me what are you gonna draw up because there's nothing you're gonna draw up there. But to ruin a game because you want to call a foul is beyond me. On a obvious no call, on an obvious half court heave, are we really gonna reward Aaron Holiday for a half court heave? Is that what we're gonna do? Is that what we're gonna do today? Because if that's what we're gonna do, as Darko Rajakovic would say, let's just not show up. Let's just not show up. And also, can Jalen Brunson get All-Star calls? Like I see Shea Gilgeous-Alexander getting All-Star calls. I see, you know what? Granted, I not even like Austin Reeves an All-Star. I see him getting All-Star calls. Like, um, I see SGA. I see Luca. Luca's great, but Anthony Edwards, like even those guys who are just stars this year, very good players this year, are getting calls more than a Jalen Brunson. It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous. I want to get to it. Like he's the superstar that gets the least amount of calls ever, and I've ever seen. It's honestly he can get hit all game long and nothing. Dylan Brooks obviously lowers his shoulder early in the game, and they say nothing but a blocking foul. He literally lowered the shoulder on bad intentions. So if we're gonna look at the past of a player like Dylan Brooks, if we're not gonna instill the rules of let's look at the past of him, then why is that not an offensive foul? Why are we not saying he's doing harm on Jalen Brunson? Why not? Because if we're gonna look at the past, then let's look at Dylan Brooks' past, and let's look at what his dirty plays are. Because I know there's a damn few of them. So I don't like the past rules, but if we're gonna go with that, then let's look at what Dylan Brooks does in the past. It's a lot of damn it's a lot of damn fouls. It's a lot of damn dirty plays. So if we're gonna make Draymond suffer because of his past, granted his past way more than Dylan Brooks, then why can't Dylan Brooks suffer because of it? Why can Dylan Brooks just cheap shot Jalen Brunson all game long and not get away with it? Granted, if Shea was to get cheap shotted by Dylan Brooks all game long, Dylan Brooks would be put in an asylum. Dylan Brooks would be in jail if he. That's an exaggeration, but you understand my point. Dylan Brooks would be gone. There's no way they let that happen to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. There's no way that let that happen to Anthony Edwards. There's no way they let that happen to Tyrese Halliburton. There's no way. But because it's Jalen Brunson, they don't care. And I want to get to the bottom of that. I want to. Because there's no reason my superstar does not get calls. There's no reason. What's the reason? He's a superstar. He's going in 3-point contest. He's an all-star. He's obviously, they written him in stone. He's an all-star, written in stone. So if we're going to give all-stars favorable calls, then why not Jalen Brunson? Why not him? Why not him? If your argument is, okay, it's his first year being an all-star, then why is Anthony Edwards getting the same calls than Jalen Brunson? Why is Paolo Banchero not getting the same? Like, that is my thing. What is the reason with Jalen Brunson not getting calls and being able to get a hit all game long, like Jalen Brooks is playing football and just bullying him over all game long? I understand physical play, but what Dylan Brooks was doing all game is trying to instill harm in Jalen Brunson, and that needs to be tightened up by the guys who get paid to tighten it up, and that's the referees. So do your job and stop worrying about these stupid little calls at the end of the game and actually do your job correctly. That's it. I'm done. See you guys. Let's go Knicks. Subscribe to our notifications, and hopefully the Knicks can get a W against the Orlando Magic and hop into the All-Star break feeling fresh and ready for the next half of the season. See you guys later, and let's go Knicks. Subscribe to our notifications.